now entering the Horror Sanctum.
Hello and welcome back to the Horror Sanctum podcast. I'm Jay with John and Kellen, and this week we're going to be diving into a very obscure Dimension Films teen slasher flick from 2005 called Venom, directed by Jim Gillespie. No, this is not Spider-Man or Eddie Brock related. It is a horror teen slasher. If you are familiar with this movie, welcome to the club. There's a handful of people I know that have seen this movie. Myself, I saw it in theaters. TJ saw it in theaters as well. But if you are not familiar, we got you covered. Tow truck driver Ray saves an elderly voodoo priestess trapped inside a wrecked car. But then he opens her mysterious suitcase and becomes possessed by the evil spirits it contains. Ray turns into a murderous zombie, killing anything that crosses his path and terrorizing a group of teens, including his own son, Sean. With the help and charms of a voodoo priestess, Sean and friends fight to stay alive as they're pursued through the bayou. If you have ophidiophobia, this movie is not for you. Be warned, snakes and spoilers are ahead.
Spoilers for a movie from 2005. Before I get into anything else, everybody has nostalgia for that Dimension film screen, right? Like when that popped up, like you knew you were in
Absolutely.
for
It
fun.
was a good time.
It was
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. This is an exception. Anyway, hour and 27 minutes, 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I mean, I don't really. Oh boy. I imagine in the Dimension films heyday when they were, I mean, this is towards the end before they were bought out. Who was it? Disney? Well, somebody bought them out, I'm sure. Um, but I'm sure the writers were sitting in a room going, "Hey, you know what would be fun? What if we took I Know What You Did Last Summer and Jeepers Creepers and mashed them together, but made it not good?" And this is what they came up with. was,
Damn.
was Venom. Um, Megan Good, young Megan Good, she's delightful and everything. She's got one of those faces that it's hard not to root for her, just because she looks like she's just always happy. Even when she's crying in this movie, she still looks like joyful. So it's kind of throws you off. Before I officially get into my review, Method Man popped up on the screen as a deputy,
Oh
and
my God.
I was like, what are you? What is Method Man doing in this
Well, that was
movie?
like the same time frame. Like, okay, we got LL Cool J and H2O.
Yep.
We got
As a security guard.
Buster Rhymes
Busta
and
and Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Like, let's go ahead and just keep going. Who else is out there? Hey,
But Ice Cube has played a cop, the captain in 21 Jump Street, a detective in Ride-Alongs. Ice-T, obviously, a Law and Order SVU, plays a detective. Tupac was a detective in 1997's gang-related. Dr. Dre was a detective in Training Day. 50 Cent was an NYPD officer in a movie called Freelancer. RZA was a detective in American Gangster. It must have been at some point in time, like, what rapper can we get to play a cop in this in this movie? And I guess Method Man didn't have a lot going on in 2005. Him and Redman must have taken a break off of rapping together.
they can't
Um,
beat you if you join them.
there you go. Take them down from the inside. But yeah, 2005's Venom. I had no expectations for this movie because the guy that you see right here, that's the cover. That's the cover art. There's not a whole lot to go on. I didn't know if it was some skinhead covered in tattoos. I didn't really look close enough. It's not. It's he basically is just a tow truck driver in town, apparently owns the gas station. They get in a wreck very similar to what we see in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Um, Except the kids try to do the right thing and help the lady, and they do get her out, and he goes back in to get her briefcase, and then of course it's filled with snakes because snakes were really big in the 2000s as well, as far as enemies. You can ask Samuel L. Jackson about that. But they bite him. He falls a total of maybe 6 feet, which I thought was very anticlimactic. Like they were acting like, oh, if the car goes over, she's gone forever. And like when it fell, the bumper touched the water before it even fully left the bridge. So they definitely played up the suspense there for a whole lot of nothing. But of course he gets bit up by the snakes. There's voodoo involved, which also doesn't make sense later in the movie. A lot of this stuff doesn't really make a lot of sense. I feel like they were just throwing ideas at the wall, and whatever they had the budget to film, they filmed, and whatever they didn't really care. Um, because there's a scene later where she's got the voodoo necklace, the protection necklace that they stole from, or she took from the grandmother, granddaughter that took from the grandmother anyway. And she's getting attacked by the guy, and then when she shows it to him, he's all of a sudden like, "Oh no, I can't attack you because of that." Like, you think if it's got voodoo energy that it wouldn't matter if she showed it to him or not. Like, it should have still repelled him. Like, why did he? Oh, well, I can see it. It's like, no, I can kill you. I can't kill you. I can't. Like, that didn't make sense to me. And then the snakes, apparently, it didn't affect them at all. Like, once the snakes started coming out of his skin, they were able to still try to attack her. So I don't think this movie was very well thought out. I feel like it was like maybe a script they had and they didn't really have anything else really going on at the moment. And so they just rushed it to production. It's not poorly acted, it's just poorly written. Um, Sometimes it feels like it was almost a really good movie, and then other times it feels like the Sci-Fi Network could have probably made this same movie. Um, the quality and the filming changes at times. Like, sometimes it looks like it's really well done, and then other times it looks like they were just like, just record it with your phone. And we're talking about 2005, which was before iPhone, so we're talking about a BlackBerry at best. It also falls into that caveat of horror movies where it's too dark. There's times where it's really hard to even see what's going on in this movie. It's hard to see where anything's coming from. At one point, the whole screen just kind of goes black, and then you can see the girl again. Um, so it was real disappointing because, like I said, I saw that Dimension logo and I was like, "Ooh!" And then about 20 minutes in, I went, "Oh," and it just never picked up from there. Um, Even the ending, and that's probably the most egregious part when you watch and you see that they were done, because when she hits him with the tow truck and he breaks in half, the whoever somebody turned the contrast or the tint down on the camera, and everything almost was in grayscale. And I don't know if maybe that was just to hide some of the CGI, um, so that it wouldn't be as obvious. Maybe they tried to put more money into CGI instead of doing practical effects. And I feel like that's one of those things where they probably should have went practical in that sense to make it look more realistic. Because we're talking 2005, CGI still wasn't there yet. And the best example I can think of is Matrix Reloaded, which for the time was groundbreaking. But if you watch it now, it's awful. CGI wise, I still think the movie holds up as a movie. It's one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. But when you watch the Smith fight scene and when you watch Keanu Reeves fly, it looks so amateurish compared to what we see now in Marvel movies and bigger budget films. I mean, I always remember the scene when Keanu Reeves goes up and it pauses in the sky, and he looks almost like he was drawn like by a cartoon. It reminded me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail when they started using cartoons in the movie because they couldn't afford to build a costume. But I'm guessing that's why they shot it so dark in scenes. I guess that's why they did more of a grayscale. Um, but it just takes away from the movie. Anaconda, that snake at times just looks so bad, but they just leaned into it, and you know what? I applaud them for just leaning into it. Like, this is the best we can do with the technology we have, so you're just gonna have to enjoy it. I feel like they should have just done that with this, because it just kind of kills some of the fun when it starts to get that dark. And that's that USA look, that sci-fi early sci-fi channel look where they hid stuff with color changes. And it always just looks amateurish. So that's probably the biggest takeaway for me watching this movie. The whole thing just feels amateurish. And there's not much else I can say.
You know, thinking about this, watching this movie, and you talking about it, I started to think to myself, this was my choice in the bucket, right? Why did I pick this movie? I'm starting to like, I picked it, but then as I watched it, I was like, why did I pick this movie? Because frankly, I do enjoy it. It's not very good. Like rewatching it, it's not very good. I do like it though. I do like it. Um, I just was reading that apparently they wanted to make a video game about this movie at one point, That was a thing. They also thought that this movie was going to be the start of a franchise and that Ray was going to be a killer like Jason. Not going to happen. Didn't happen. Sadly, this came out right after Hurricane Katrina, and that was kind of probably not good for it because I'm sure the last thing at the time, I'm sure movies were not doing very well at the end of 2005. So that was probably not good. And it was set in Louisiana. Um, I know that when I first saw this, it was probably, I think it was on Stars. I think it was at my parents' house. It was definitely a 2000s movie. So many of those in the 2000s are kind of underrated. Satan's Little Helper, Behind the Mask, Hatchet, Monster Man, Hills Run Red. There's so many 2000s horror movies that were so, I don't know what it is. They were so fun and nostalgic for me. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. Yeah, they're not 70s and 80s, but they're a lot of fun. And I think really 2000s horror needs to kind of have a renaissance. I feel like we need to get more of that released and out on Blu-ray and 4K. Watching this movie, the first thing I think is like Hollywood Video or a movie gallery. I can just almost smell it. Like I watch this movie, it's like I can smell the carpet at Hollywood Video. It's like that vibe, right? That time period. It's definitely up my alley. Southern Gothic, small town, isolated, monster type slasher movie. It's definitely right up my alley. I enjoy it. The criticisms, yeah, you're right, Kellen. The first thing that I thought was, why the fuck does the grandma have the voodoo like monster snake curse things in a suitcase? Why is she digging them up? Why does she have them in a car? What is she doing? What is she doing with them? Why didn't she just like leave them where they were? Like obviously whatever was happening was fine before she dug them up. Just leave them. Like I don't understand. Like she has them. What's she doing? So then you have the sequence where Ray is on the bridge. She's driving. They have the wreck. Her car starts to go over. Ray gets in the car, gets bit, goes in the water. It's like they should have just sealed the suitcase up, threw it in the water, and been done. Like I don't understand why the grandma had this. Like it seems like all this was set in motion in like an unnecessary way. Like everything was fine. I didn't. You're talking about Method Man. I think he's a pretty good actor. I know he was. I've seen him in. I think the first thing I ever saw him in was Copland. He was like kind of like a criminal in that movie. And I know I didn't expect to see Dr. Weber from Grey's Anatomy in this movie. He's the guy that plays the sheriff. That was kind of surprising. Any Grey's Anatomy fans out there? I'm sure on this podcast, there's probably zero listening right now. So whoever's listening is like, fuck Grey's Anatomy. Why are you talking about that? But yeah, Dr. Weber, if you're a Grey's Anatomy fan. Yeah, overall, I like it. The kills are good. It's got some suspenseful moments, like the first time I watched it. Of course, now you kind of know what's going to happen, but I will say the guy playing Sean, that actor, like the guy who is like the illegitimate son of Ray, he's terrible. That guy's awful. He's like drunk and he's mad about inheriting a gas station. Like he's not a good actor. That was very, very bad acting. Ray, the voodoo guy, that turns into like the voodoo monster, whatever he is. He's good. He's creepy. He has a creepy build, creepy face. I thought he did really good as like the killer. I thought the ending, the boyfriend basically whimpering to save the girl's life. I thought that was a baller move, honestly. That's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. Like he knows she's going to die, so he sacrifices himself. I like that in movies where you have like a character who, like it's clear in the movie they have problems, but he goes out dying for her. That's kind of cool. I always like when they write characters like that they're complex, but then they do the right thing. That's kind of cool. But overall, I don't have a lot to say about it. I enjoy it. It's nostalgic. It's fun for me. It's like kind of a trip down memory lane. I'll probably watch it again, but if I saw it now, outside of college age John, if I saw it at age 41, I don't know how I'd feel about it, because it is pretty silly. But it's kind of like Night Swim. It's definitely the kind of movie that I will watch again, and I could easily put it on in the background, and it can give me 2000s memories. So yeah, it's a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I have that nostalgia for it too. Kevin Williamson wrote it, right? Yeah, so same people who made I Know What You Did Last Summer and had things with Scream. It was just the time, early 2000s, like we need teens and we need to slash them, right? Like how can we keep being original with it? Some you missed, John, that I have nostalgia for around that same time period is Cry Wolf. Another one I saw in theaters with a good little cast, and Stay Alive, which also has a good cast, which is where the video game comes to life. And they're having, I think Frankie Muniz is in that one, Jimmy Simpson, who's one of the McPoyles from Always Sunny. So there were a lot of movies that came out around that time that I enjoyed because they were just fun and dumb. This is one of those movies that's it's fun. It's very dumb. They also think we're dumb. That's why she had to show the necklace or whatever to explain to us, the dumb audience, oh look, this bothers him. Because one of my favorite kills, and I don't even know what the tool is in the shop or in the gas station. It's almost like a pressure washer kind of thing.
Oh, the
So
sandblaster thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
sandblaster. So before he kills the girl, it was a girl, I think. Before he kills her with that, he runs it on the side of a car just to show us, hey, this is what it can do. Shh. And I ran over my foot with a pressure washer before, so I can imagine what that felt like. Um, but yeah, there were some fun kills in this. It's a background movie like Night Swim. It's a movie that you can put on and enjoy and not have to pay a lot of attention. Skeleton Key, that's another one that came out around the same time, maybe even the same year. That's voodoo involved as well. Um, so there's a little theme they had going on. But
I
yeah,
hate that movie. I hate it so
yeah,
much.
I haven't seen it in so long. I have it, obviously, but I haven't watched it in a long time. I like Ray. Ray's probably my favorite character in this movie.
Skeleton Key 2005.
So same year. So Voodoo 2005. Um, Ray is a super nice guy, right? Like, well, not super nice, but he's a nice guy, just misunderstood, gets bullied by these teens. Um, was it Busy Phillips? Is that her name?
Oh, Danny
And she like
Masterson's
Bayou
wife.
Phillips.
she like
Bayou
shows her
Phillips.
boobs to him, like, you like that? Like
Yeah.
they just treat him bad because he has a scar and he has a tow truck and a gas station. But hey,
Mhm.
he's a gas station owner. He's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So stuck on that, kids. Um, but yeah, I guess it's an original enough movie too. Like when you think about, is there anything like this out there? Is there? Like where a guy gets possessed by demons, but they're in the bodies of snakes. And when you were saying, why did she dig that up? I was trying to think, why would she have done that? And here's the conclusion I came to. So she takes these spirits, she somehow puts them into a snake's body. And then I would assume that this stupid ass suitcase is enchanted somehow, right? And she
Hmm.
probably has to bury it to keep the spirits at bay. That's the only thing I can
Hmm.
think of. So she digs it up because she's off to get another one. But who the fuck knows?
Right.
They explain a lot of stuff to us in this movie and make us feel dumb, but they don't explain that part at all. So yeah. But yeah, it's just it's fine. You and I have talked about it, John. I don't. It's been probably last year sometime. You're like, have you seen Venom? I'm like, I have. I'm like, you suggest some good early 2000s movies to me like that. Monster Man. But then you also suggested Fanglies. I don't know what year that was.
My apologies on
You
that one.
turned me on to the Fanglies, and goddamn, dude, that was so bad. I don't know how that doesn't have a Vinegar Syndrome release, honestly, because the way it looks like a lot of the stuff that they push, but I'm glad it
Mhm.
doesn't. I would not buy that one again. So eBay for $3 on DVD, that's good enough. But yeah, it's fun. It's dumb. It gets the job done. There's really not more. We knew this was going to be a short episode, which is fine. Some of them being short
Mhm.
is perfectly fine. But I didn't like Method Man as a cop.
Yeah.
It just felt out of place because there was no one else in that movie you knew, really knew, besides you knew the Grey's Anatomy guy, but I didn't recognize him because I don't watch Grey's, right?
Hmm.
So
He went
that
out
was,
so quick. That's so
yeah,
Yeah.
uncharacteristic of that role. Usually
Yeah.
that well-known person playing a cop lasts a little while.
right.
On his vacation day.
He wasn't even supposed to be there. He was
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah.
He got killed on his day off. But yeah,
How you gonna get killed on your day?
him just showing up and then exiting. I'm like, that was I don't know. That was odd to me.
Yeah.
Also, like I enjoyed the kills with the hook that he had on the chain, like the toe. That was a big thing in the early 2000s, late 90s too. They love their hooks. Like I know what you did last summer. This one did. the Kane movie, See No Evil. I think he had a hook
Oh, he
too.
did. Yeah.
Like, hey, let's think of other ways to kill people besides guns and knives. Oh,
Didn't Jeepers Creepers have a hook too? Didn't he
maybe.
have a hook at one point in that? I can't remember.
Maybe. Did you see they're making a fifth one and Jenna Ortega supposedly connected to it?
What?
Yeah. What are you doing, girl?
That's random.
She's missing that Scream money. Anyways, it is what it is. Venom. I like it better than probably one or two of the Venom Marvel movies, Sony movies. But yeah, um, we'll go around, close up shop, give our rankings. I'm sure it's going to be high. Let's start with Kellen.
Yeah, this just again, I just don't have the nostalgia for it. So I mean, I'm just watching it as a 42-year-old man with nothing better to do this free time. Uh, um, I think after watching this, I've determined early to mid 2000s is my least favorite time in Hollywood. I think about that art style where you do the shaky cam, quick cut to some random scene, and it's kind of the brightness is cued way up, and like that happens so many times in this movie where it's just a random cut to something shaking, and then back to what's going on, and then a random cut back. I think of Mission Impossible 2 and how cheesy and over the top that was. I think that's probably my least favorite era in in Hollywood movie wise. Not saying there's not good movies from that time, just when they leaned into that art style, it just doesn't work for me, and it's so cheesy and over the top and dumb. So this unfortunately falls into that category. But I'm not going to rate it low because I was thinking about some of the movies I've rated real low, and I'm like, this doesn't deserve that much hate because this is just a sci-fi movie that had an actual studio that made it, and sci-fi put out some fun stuff. Um, so I'm gonna give it a two out of five.
John.
Yeah, I was thinking of another movie in that time period, Laid to Rest. That's one that I
Mhm.
liked a lot that is kind of forgotten about, but it's a really fun slasher movie. And it has some big actors in it at the time. I'm like, how the hell did they get in that movie? This movie, I did think about what it reminds me of. It reminds me of True Blood, the show,
Yeah.
because I
Mhm.
watched True Blood. So I think watching this, I get back into that True Blood mindset, Louisiana and all. Overall, it's fun. It's nostalgic. It's like a 2000s monster movie. Um, it's a 3 out of 5, but it's nostalgic, so I'm biased.
Wow. Okay. So I gave it a 2.5. So we'll call it a 2.5. It's fine. And like
Yeah.
we've said it over and over again, it's fine. But it's not a movie that I wouldn't watch again. Like
Hmm.
I probably haven't watched this movie in 20
Hmm.
years.
Yeah.
Um, like since it came out. So it was fun to revisit it. I definitely liked it back in 2005, but that's usually the case with movies, right? So, all right, 2.5 for Venom 2005, not Eddie Brock. All right, that's it for this episode. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to wherever you listen to this podcast. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, join our Facebook group, and we have an Amazon Music playlist featuring the only song I could find from this movie, Two Lane Blacktop by Rob Zombie. That is on our playlist as well, so check it out. All right, signing off. I'm Jay with John and Kellen, and until next time.
Keep it spooky.